It's the Omid and Kojo Show.
So sleepy.
You're sleepy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I feel that.
Your hair's looking mad.
Yeah, don't.
You're looking like a TikTok dream boy.
It's doing this thing. I don't know what it's doing. It looks like a hand. I don't know what it's up to. I'm just gonna leave it as is.
Yeah, probably for the best, isn't it?
Yeah. Why is it doing that?
I don't know. It looks very nice, Alex. Don't worry about it. Should we do the little intro thing?
Yeah, you do it this time.
Hello and welcome to the Omid and Kojo show. I'm Kojo. And
I'm Omid.
that's Omid.
Yeah.
And we're Omid and Kojo, and this is our show where we talk about flips and that. So first off, Omid, have you seen the new Ethan Turner sampler?
When did it? Which one? When did it come out?
Maybe today. I don't know. He's always been making.
No, I haven't seen it. He makes samplers faster than I do tricks. I don't know.
For every session you have, he has a whole new sampler.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? I got it.
You got it.
I got it.
This now.
I got you, mid. We can have a look at that. Then we can just chill out, you know?
Should just not say anything.
Just
let
watch
Ethan Turner.
Look at him go.
Whoa!
Ethan's like one of my favorites to watch right now.
Yeah.
His tricks are great.
Yeah. Holy shit. Whoa.
You should do that.
No?
No, that's right up your alley.
He just owned it.
You could do it to vanish something though. Vanish swipe knife or something. That'd be pretty wild.
Yeah, it'd be lovely.
So he did cheat 7 twist, swing, gain a semi, like front swing.
Yeah.
Twist.
Yeah, that's
pretty cool. Look at him go.
I don't know. I feel like he's just having so much fun. I wish
He's having fun.
my body could take grass tricks, because you know how hard the grass is going to be in Colorado as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Those days are behind us. Now you can still trick on grass, but I feel like we have to build it up a lot. Yeah,
that was sick.
The tack
sidewinder.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Oh, getting a bit of Alex Hunter in there. I love he's got such control over his semi stuff.
Well, Ethan's one of those. He's kind of like Johan. You know, people who trick an insane amount.
Yeah,
he just tricks a lot every single day, like multiple times in a day and stuff. Like he's just always going, and his body seems to be holding up.
He's just a young lad. He's a young lad full of vim and vigor.
Oh, that was it. Speaking of Ethan, actually. Yeah, see, he's fine. But that's one thing I wanted to talk about.
What?
People who say they've been training for less time than they have.
What's up with that? So many people like this.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
I won't single Ethan out particularly, but I know there was a post in the tricking group about when people started tricking, and most trickers, I read it and I'm like, that's not when you started. I mean, maybe I don't know. It just Ethan said 2015, and it's like he could already do double back and triple full then. There's videos of him in like 2014, 2013 doing all these flips. So I guess maybe if you want to count it from pure tricking, like if I were to count it like that, if I didn't count all the time free running when I was doing like cork in combos and stuff, if I didn't count that, then I guess I started in 2011 then.
Yeah.
Like late 2011 if I'm going to not count all the free running time.
Well, I mean, you were doing free running like even after I'd started and stuff, which was like
in 2012. Yeah, but I just count it from when I started doing flips on the ground, because even though I was doing free running, like I was doing tricks as well for free running, so it gets a bit blurry.
I guess it's a little bit different if you did like a completely different sport, but I guess it also means you kind of need to mention it
Yeah, I
Because
think
it's kind of like, if you
yeah,
did gymnastics, I get why, like, if you were just doing gymnastics, but you were doing gymnastics for like 4 years or 5 years or whatever, and then somebody asks, like, if the question comes up, how long have you been tricking? Even if you can do a triple full and double back or whatever the case may be, I kind of get why you'd say, like, you know, that you don't count those years, but I think you should kind of mention it. And
yeah.
I don't know, it seems so common. Like, even with like Jay Knight always saying
Oh yeah.
how when I met Jay, he'd been tricking for like, he must have been tricking for like 4 years, something like that.
And it
But
just
then
stayed like that.
for about 4 years after that, he'd still only been tricking for 4 years.
I don't know. I think I've kind of overtaken him now.
Yeah.
I bet
Me
if I
too.
asked him, he'd say like 8 years or something. But like, how important do you think that is? Because I remember early in my tricking thinking like, oh, what have I done by 2 years and by 3 years? And that used to like be really important to me. But after getting more into tricks, it's more just about what you can do, because it's kind of easier to be killing it if you've trained for only 5 years and you've just had 5 consistent years of training. It's much easier to be killing it than someone who's trained for 8 years who's had like 3 or 4 injuries over that time. Because like coming out of tricking and then getting back into it, it's such a huge, it's just so much harder, you know? So when I see someone who gets really, really good and they've only been tricking like a few years, then obviously it's super impressive, but it's not like that impressive. I think it's kind of, it's still easier than having to like recover from a major injury, even if it took longer, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it did, well, I don't know. What was your question originally? Because you said
My
what?
question was like, how important is it to you? Like, what's your view on it? A lot of
Well,
beginner trickers think it's really important.
well, obviously, in the earlier stages of me training and stuff, it was more important to me because I was kind of like, oh, this is cool. Like, I've achieved this in what would be a lot of the time be considered like a shorter amount of time. So it means because I'm training hard, and I was just training hard, I wasn't training smart, I was just doing it a lot
Yeah.
of the time. And I had that kind of mentality where it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm seeing the payoff because I'm putting in all the work and then I get the results. Whereas now I kind of see it as they're just two different things. It's like I'll look at the progress of somebody earlier on and I'm like super impressed by it, and but now, because I've gone through these things myself, all I think is I hope they don't have to deal with any major injuries anytime soon, if at all. Because if they're the things that's the thing that's going to really progress the sport. People that can stay, the people that can stay uninjured for the longest period of time, they're going to be the people that really push the sport in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, I think the Tundra kids are doing a good job of that. I
Yeah.
think training at a gym where like the floor's the softest and bounciest out of all of the floors, and you've got like resi to land on, they've got like a really safe training environment and a good culture around.
Yeah,
training,
they've also just got like people. They've got people around helping, whether it be with, I don't know, technique or kind of mentality towards training and stuff like that. Because like, there's a lot of people that just don't have tricking coaches. Like, I'd say like 95%. And but like having those like, well, you can still have like teachers around, like people, I don't know, like people at UTX, for example, like just local to us. Like there's teachers around, but they're not really going to be able to give people that are like pushing the limits the technique advice. You know what I mean? Because like if we're not there and then there's just general coaches knocking about, then if someone wants to try triple cork or a higher level trick, then they're not really going to have the kind of advice given. So I think it is cool with Japan that they've got all of that. And I think that's what's going to help a big, that'll help massively.
Yeah, well, it already has, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm just intrigued to see how long they can pull it off for, because
well, it'll be a while. They've got I was thinking about this earlier, and this isn't actually what I think, but I was just I had a slight moment of self-doubt, and I felt like me pursuing tricking, just watching Viota, watching him do triple cork on grass with his technique and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I was like, am I like some 5'10" guy who wants to be in the NBA. Feel like that sometimes. I feel like I have the complete wrong shape and size for tricking, and it's such a disadvantage because like other people can squeeze stuff out without using good technique, and it still works because they're tiny and weightless. But then I came back. I don't know. I just think that sometimes, but then I come back and think, no, having a bigger body means like if I do put in the work, me doing a great box cutter could look better than one of those tiny guys doing a double box cutter just because it's just bigger. But yeah, I don't know. Do you ever feel like that?
Well, I mean, I get it not because of my size. I get it more because of injuries and stuff at this point. Like I have those moments of self-doubt quite frequently with like injuries that just don't seem to go away. Because like I've been nursing this like adductor and like groin and hip injury for like nearly 2 years now, maybe more, around that sort of period. And it's like as much rehab as I do and as much stretching, it doesn't just it's always there. Like even if it goes away for like, what seems to be like for good, like I've had periods where there's been months where I've not felt it at all, but then not even at a session, the following day after everything was fine at a session, I'll just wake up and be like, okay, so now it hurts a fuck ton again, and then it can put me out for a few weeks. And it's not the end of the world, but it's like I'm just starting to feel that kind of doubt creep in with the age, because these kind of things weren't a thing when I was younger. You know what I mean?
You just got, and I think obviously the best approach, because you want to stay positive, is just being able to adapt to the point where you can still be progressing, even with all of these factors. You just get better at training rather than hoping that these things just go away, these problems. You just kind of evolve past it and get better at training smart enough so that it's not as much of an issue. But I know that's easier said than done. And then whenever you have the setback, it's tough, you know?
Well, for me, like, because it's fair enough. Like, okay, so the other week, I hurt the other side of my groin, and I did a trick. I did a box cutter, and I just overstretched it, and I was like, fair. And that obviously it pissed me off, and it wasn't ideal. But it's that kind of thing. If I do a thing that I feel, I'm like, okay, there it is. There's the strain. There's the pain. Then it doesn't feel the same as when I've just had a session and then I wake up the next day and it's so painful just from doing the tricks. Do you know what I mean? Like if I do something where it's like a cause and effect, as in like right there and then, it's kind of a little bit more manageable mentally. But when I've got this thing that just goes and goes, and like it's not from nothing, because I will train and then
but nothing in particular, just overall kind of training.
Yeah, and it doesn't, like, sometimes it doesn't make any sense at all. Like I've said, like I'll have months where I don't feel it at all, and then nothing's different during the session, nothing's different that day, but then the next day I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's back, and it doesn't. I can't like wrap my head around it.
I know this is a little bit different, but it brings me on to something we were talking about the other day with injuries. It's kind of like, anytime you get in my experience, and also I think yours as well, we've only had major injuries from doing something stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about that, just from like general day-to-day tricking, from smart training, and even going pretty hard and pushing myself. Like me personally, my biggest injuries have been one from doing a standing double back into a foam pit that only has waist-high foam and was hard on the bottom. So that's the first time I destroyed my ankle. Another time from doing double back on the floor without doing it on the mat before that session, when I should have just done that. And then the other time from doing gainer switches with a hole in the floor. And then another time from jumping onto a trampoline covered in foam blocks. So all of my like worst injuries have all been from stupid things that didn't need to happen. So it makes me think, like, if you do train really smart, I wonder how much you can avoid injury. I know you like the minor ones are always going to happen, but I wonder, because my training's got so much smarter in like the last 5 years, and I'm like, well, like 10 years from now, I wonder if I'll be able to train so smart that I'm still like I can really avoid getting any major injuries. I just get like little minor ones.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me think, like, I wonder whether it's all just going to be relative, though, because as we're getting older, obviously we're going to be training a lot smarter, and things are going to be progressing in terms of the way that we're approaching tricking and training. So because of those things kind of leveling up at the same time, is it just going to be the same?
I guess because we'd have better technique as well, and I don't know. I think if you're training consistently, you're not just gonna you don't just turn 30 and get weak.
No,
You know?
no. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, because you're getting older, like, in order to kind of maintain what it is that you're doing, even if it is maintaining that progression level, then it's just gonna be maintaining. It's never gonna be like, unless there's like certain breakthroughs that you have, and like you do get lucky with certain things where you have a particularly long period of time where you don't have to take any breaks longer than like a week or whatever. Then I wonder if it will just end up becoming like, when it will become maintaining as opposed to just constant progression. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I think you can easily be progressing. You could be always progressing in some way.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I mean just overall, because like what we're currently trying to do, we're also like, there's going to come a point where
you stop doing certain things.
Yeah, and like, even though we're progressing with that in terms of the way that we're training and stuff, and our bodies are getting stronger, it is kind of relative because we're getting older. So there's more wear and tear, and those little injuries start kind of meaning, oh, well, we can't train this little area, or we can't train this little area for this period. And then it just kind of becomes like a weird, like, balancing act. Do you know what I mean? Because I can feel that coming along for me already. Like, if I don't do certain things, I've fucked it for that whole week. If I don't do certain rehab, then I just can't do the tricks, basically. And yeah, I'm just trying to, I don't know. Yeah, it's funny you talking to me about this kind of shit, because I'm already in this kind of mentality because my groin's been hurting a lot lately. And I'm feeling quite negative myself, but I don't know. I do think it'll be fine.
I don't know why. I don't know. What? Just because the groin thing's been lingering.
Yeah.
I guess when you have something, I don't know though, because my ankle's like, I just expect it to like never be fine. It's obviously never gonna like be fine again. I know, but adapt my training in a way where, like, I can't land on a flat foot once or I'm done for like a month. It's happened like 2 or 3 times since I broke it. If I land wrong once, then I'm done, and that's just what I train around. I just expect to like never. I just make sure I never land like that. Like it has really disheartened me thinking that it will probably never, like, it's never going to be fine. But I don't mind that much, you know.
Yeah, but
I feel like I can work around it.
You know what you can and can't do. Like,
yeah.
I'll have basic sessions where I do things. I'm like, right, because it's my groin. I'm like, okay, well, I can't do anything where I really split my legs open, and it's like, that's every trick. And
it's not every trick.
Well, think of some tricks where I don't have to move my right leg.
Dilk said Matteo though before. He doesn't really open his legs.
Yeah,
he does all right.
Yeah. I don't know, but either way, like, it's just because it does feel fine sometimes when I'm at the session, but then the next day it will just fuck me up, and then I'm fucked for like several days or weeks sometimes. I
don't know. It makes you stronger. It conditions your mind. But yeah, let's answer some of these questions, because there was some. Well, Scar had a good comment. I think people tend to want to hide previous knowledge coming from martial arts, gymnastics, etc., because they think others will see their achievements as not as impressive. And yeah, I think that's probably why people say that they've trained for less than they have. Like, I mean, I guess I've done that, but not really. I feel like I do it in a pretty honest way. Like, I'll tell people the full story, but I don't really count. From the ages of 12 to 16, I had a garden trampoline. I had like an 8-foot garden trampoline, and I did just do front flips and barani and back flips just sometimes, but I didn't like train for any goals or anything. And I don't really count that as part of my training. I count it from when I kind of started actually like training flips. Like, I wouldn't tell anyone that I did trampolining. I just had a trampoline and kind of just went out on it.
Well, so, I guess it just kind of depends on how much detail you're going into as well.
But there's a big difference, because think of the difference between that and then someone like Tiki Wu, who can like quad before they even start tricking. Like that's a huge edge. If you can do like a quad full on the trampoline before you start tricking, that's like having a year or two experience already on the floor. Like the difference, because I think if you can't do any flips on the floor but you can quad on trampoline, you'll probably overtake someone who's been training for 2 years in about a month.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I get it. I get it on both sides, like, because I guess it is just that kind of ego thing where it kind of makes people feel better.
Yeah.
And also there's the element where they just don't want to be talking a bunch. Because like I've had things where people have asked me questions like that, and I'm just like,
It's like whatever.
oh, it's like 8 years, yeah, and then like, it's, you know, it's just not.
Yeah, like Jeff Manuel, or is it Manuel? I don't know. He said, it personally just makes me feel better saying I started tricking just recently. Like, yeah, I get that. I get that. Let me see some of these other comments.
I might start telling people I haven't started tricking yet.
Yeah, to say you're about to start.
Yeah,
you're thinking about starting.
I'll
you
start
think you might
soon.
have a knack for it? All right, here's one. When do you guys think tricking tips gets annoying? And I get, all right, so with tips, like for me, I think it's, if you don't ask someone for advice, then it's kind of, there's like different levels to it. So I'll just talk about me personally. If I don't ask someone for advice, but it's like a really good trick, or or someone who's like really good at the trick and they want to give me advice, then I'll probably be like, okay, yeah, I'll hear them out. I'll be like, I mean, I didn't ask you, so I'll kind of be like, yeah, but I'll hear them out because they might have some good things to say if they're actually good at the trick. Now, if it's someone who's not good, then that just pisses me off. It puts me in a bad mood. I've had that before when I was like first trying quad falls on the trampoline, someone who can't double fall trying to give me advice on it. And it's like, I know better than you. And I get that a lot on Instagram as well. People just messaging me with advice when I haven't asked them for it. And they're worse than me. It's like, I understand. It's one thing if you're like way better, but if you're worse than me, then what makes you think that I wouldn't know these things? So it's just kind of annoying. It's made me like, I'm careful about me giving advice. I only give it to people who ask because I don't want to become that person. Because I know I do feel the urge to give advice when someone's doing something badly. So I try to like keep myself in check, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. I've been trying to get better at that over the years. So now the way I deal with it is just don't give advice to anyone ever unless they ask for it. Or occasionally I'll say to them like, do you want me to, maybe I can help? Do you want some advice? Or just say like, this helped me in the past. I think the way you approach it as well makes a big difference. Because if people just, I don't know, I've had it where people that aren't as good come over and they just tell me. And I'm like,
yeah, that's
not, one, you're wrong. Two, this is a trick I can do. I'm just having a bad day. Don't make it worse. Can you fuck off?
Well, you see in the tricking group a lot as well. But this is when people ask, this is a bit of a different thing. But you see like people ask for tips and then a load of people will like give them tips that are completely wrong. And sometimes they even say it, well, like at the start, they're like, I can't do this, but and then they say their tip and it's like, you know that you don't know how to do it. So why are you trying to give advice?
Who are you fooling,
like, you've said at the start that you don't even know. So why are you trying? But yeah, one of these comments. Have you guys seen the Alexander Anderson interview? We've actually interviewed him multiple times.
Yeah, many a time.
Whatever he said, we already know it. Know everything there is to know about him.
I've spent so much time with Alexander over the years. I was thinking about this the other day, actually. Like, there's quite, I don't know, there's quite a few trickers from like out of town that we've spent a lot of time with, and Alexander is one of them. And then there's a couple of the American boys. I love how, I don't know, how the relationships are just like, there's like 8-month gaps or whatever where you don't see someone, but then you'll spend like a month together because you end up going to the same gatherings and stuff. It's great. Yeah. Those are my favorite kind of relationships.
Yeah, people like Court Cookson and whatnot.
Oh, Monty
Monson, all the crazy characters around the world. There's a lot of them in the tricking community. Will Conies.
William Atanas Conies. Someone said,
What?
Okay, two comments I want to address. I am new to tricking. What is the order of tricks I should learn? Backflip, front flip. There's no specific order. Just do a bunch of different things and see what happens. And the other question was, if you sleep bad and you barely eat my regular day, do you notice that with your? Do you notice? Basically, what they're trying to ask is, how does that affect your training? The sleeping bad, that one, I don't know. I think for both of these, it's kind of hit or miss. Some days I won't eat at all, and I'll have a killer session. And then some days I won't eat at all, and I'll have the worst session of my life and feel no power.
But that's on a micro scale. I think on the macro, I think if it's like normal for you to not be getting enough sleep, then I think your tricking's going to suffer because of it.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
your body just doesn't heal as well, and you're just going to get a bit worn down eventually. Though having like the odd night, like sometimes sleeping like 3 hours, I've had that before where for whatever reason I've barely slept and then I have a great session. So I think like day to day, it doesn't necessarily have to be that big of a thing, but over a longer period of time, then it has more of an effect, I think.
Yeah. All right, Kojo, I got to dip out for a couple of minutes. I'll be back.
All right.
Safe.
Go on then. He's still there. All right, he's gone. Yeah, Omid's got to go and post some stories about his clothing. So I'm going to answer some of these questions. In each continent, oh, that's a long question. I'm not doing all of that. I skipped the basics and I'm having trouble with it now. So Jeff, what you got to do is work on those basics. Really, it's never too late to go back to them. Like my basics have always been pretty bad. So just this year, after 10 years of training, I'm like really putting some time into them. So it's never too late. Just get on them. Get into a good routine with it. Like it doesn't have to be a huge thing. If you just have like a 30-minute basic kick session and you do that 3 times a week and you stick to it, then you'll make some gains. Like I always used to feel like I had to go super, super hard on the basics. And whenever I did them, I'd do like loads and loads and I'd be worn out. And then I'd end up not doing them again for like a week or 2 weeks or something. And I found it's way more productive to like consistently do a small amount. So even if you can do it like 4 times a week, like just keep small, consistent basic sessions. It's really easy to build up your tricking. All right, what else we saying? Oh yeah, to the guy who said what order to learn tricks as a beginner, I wouldn't listen to Omid. He doesn't know what's going on. What you should do, what I think you should do anyway, is if you have a trampoline, it's very different. Your approach should be very different. If you have a trampoline, then yeah, get front flips and back flips down. That's really going to help with a load of things, and side flips. If you don't have a trampoline, I would recommend learning butterfly kick first because it's really easy. You don't have to get over any fear, and yeah, anyone can learn it. And once you learn that, you can learn an aerial. Once you have an aerial down, you can turn that into a gainer. You can turn that into a scoop flash kick. And you can already be building combos at that point. And if you can do a gainer, then when you do try backflip, if you've really worked the gainer, then it's not going to be too hard. All right, I think he's back. Oh, no, he's not back. Someone else is requesting. Shall I let him in? Go on. Someone's Jules mindset.
Hey.
Yo, you taking over for Omid? What's up?
Excellent, nice. I'm from Guatemala, man.
Damn, you got many trickers there.
Yeah, there's a few actually, not that much. Most of them little kids from martial arts.
You got next generation coming up though.
Yeah, my dream is actually go with all you guys, the garrison. That will be awesome someday.
You should come to Hook someday if you can make it. That'd be sick.
Dream. That's the goal, but you know it's not cheap, right?
yeah, I know. It's a long way to go as well.
Yeah, so that's nice, man. Thanks for getting my invitation, like to add me. That's actually something really good. I have been part of Kojo's Trick Lab for a long time.
Yes, bro. Sick.
Thanks.
Supporting. No, it's good to hear. But yeah, I want to go to Guatemala at some point. I've never been to South America as a whole.
Nice. Whenever you want to come, just let me know. and I'll show you all the places here.
Yeah, show me the spots.
Yeah.
I like what's your like local food? What you got going?
We have like a lot of tropical food here, fruits like mango, bananas, pineapple, watermelon. Actually, we have all of them here.
Okay, I could be a part of that. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Nice, man. Thank you very much. I'm a really huge fan. I've been watching all your work. It has been helping me a lot in tricking, actually.
Nice. Did you see my gainer switch guide?
Yes.
Nice. I spent a long time on that one, so I'm always happy. I'm always happy when anyone's seen it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it wasn't easy doing all that dressing up.
Nice. I've been like a lot of time being tricking. I'm more of a kicker than a flipper. That's because of the martial arts thing, but I've been trying to do flips and some twists and been improving little by little.
Yeah, well, I think the flips are easier than the kicks in lots of ways, so it'll come quickly.
Yeah. It's just getting scared of looking to the back, you know? That's what that's my full scared mindset. But Kyle got some videos about how to lose that sensation, so I've been watching over and over and starting to do flips.
Nice. Yeah, it's like with anything, it gets really easy and not scary. Just once you've done it enough times, it will get really easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should let Omid back in.
Thank you. Don't worry.
Yeah, good talking to you, man.
Let me take a
Right.
picture before.
Go on, get it, screenshot that.
Thank you, Sam. Have a really nice day.
Take care. All right, where's my Omid gone? I've lost him. Is he even there? I guess he's just gone then. Fair enough. What's everyone else saying? Kojo, have you been to Indonesia? No, never. I'd like to, though. I don't know much about it, but that'd be cool. Someone landed there first. Oh, Rob, you got my hopes up then. Yo, Kojo, I landed my first triple cork today. Just kidding. Come on, Rob. I was so excited for you. I was like, damn, my boy Rob, he's hit triple cork. I was about to throw a party. I have really good flexibility, but my hips pop when I do kicks. How should I condition them? So there might be something to do with your kicking technique. Like when my technique was a lot worse for kicks, then it used to like pop my hip and it would really hurt sometimes. So I'd say try not to think about kicking too high. Like maybe you need to kick a little bit lower, but with better technique. Focus on really refining your basic kick technique before you try and kick really high in the air. Because yeah, if you're trying to go too high too soon, then it can really hurt your hip. Also just stretching loads. Like the more flexible you get, the less problems you're going to get in general with kicks. That's what I've found. Since I started stretching like 2 hours a day, kicks have got a whole lot easier. Oh, Dylan said, no more Omid. Omid is meant to be here. I don't know where he's gone. Oh, he is back. I've just not added him. He's going to be mad at me now. Like, watch this. Watch him whinge about me.
Back, sorry about that.
Were you in the chat for long?
Nah, were you cussing me out?
A little bit. I was talking to my mate from, I don't even want to say it because I can't say it, Guatemala. That's how you say it. I can't say, I don't know.
Nah, that is how you say it.
I kind of want to say like Guatemala, but...
Nah, it's Guatemala, isn't it?
But yeah, you know I don't like saying T's. I don't have time for them, you know? I'm too busy.
Yeah, it's
What we were saying. Oh, we got Nev, who loved the Jamcast. Yes, Nev. Glad you liked it.
Yes, Jules, I'll allow it.
What are you saying anyway? Do you want to tell the people what you've been doing, Omid? Why are you bugging off?
Yeah. So, sorry I had to dip out. I just had to make sure that everything was running smoothly with the launch and make sure that the posts were going live on Instagram. But these hoodies, them, man, are live. So, yeah. If anyone wants to go and check them out, links in the description. You can help support a young Iranian boy.
Well, Tricks Matt is already on it.
Yeah, man. I saw the order. Appreciate you, Matt.
Kid
He's been
Clark
asking about
said,
these hoodies for literal years.
do you sell XL shirts, sir?
Yeah.
You do. You must do. Don't you? You gave me one.
Yeah. Mate, you know, we do small, medium, large, and extra large.
Damn, this is a professional setup you got going on.
Imagine, we were just like, so we got 4XL and we got extra small, and that's it.
I do really like the material of your t-shirt there.
So
I like it when it has a bit of stretch to it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I hate really stiff t-shirts. They piss me off.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah,
I
and
mean,
Beans as well was like, has a nice bit of stretch to it. It's nice.
nice.
So, yeah.
I like those kind of garments as well. And these hoodies as well, that we've not printed on these before. But they are the best hoodies I've found. I love them so much. Once I get the next lot in, I'll get one for you. But
Yes,
they're super stretchy and warm and comfy and good for training. So
you need to give me one. I'm getting tired of wearing the one that I stole from you, my one hoodie. So at different points, like at some point last year, I had 5 different hoodies. And now I have one. This is clothes for me. Is kind of like food. Like I have them, but I know that I don't have them forever. I know it's not going to last. I know it'll be gone. It could be in a week, 2 weeks. Normally, the clothes I like the most are the ones that get lost the fastest. Because I take them to gatherings, and every single gathering, I lose like half of my clothes. Every gathering. So, like, I'm constantly losing clothes. I remember I had that yellow hoodie. I had that red hoodie. I had a satiety hoodie. All of them are gone. No idea.
every single one.
They're all gone. I've got one hoodie now. I actually have one. They're all just gone. Too much gallivanting around, you know?
I know, I feel that. Yeah, it's the same for me. Always just losing everything. Like, I don't know where. It's the worst with socks and boxers, I find. They always just disappear, and I've no idea where they're going.
I got the opposite. Not with boxers, but with socks, I got the opposite problem. I got 2 drawers full of them, but they're all like odd socks, and they all have fucking holes in because of my nasty ogre feet.
Yeah,
like,
you do have nasty ogre feet.
Yeah, I get like 1 use out of a pair of socks, and then my toe busts through, and I cut my nails are cut, but my toes just bust through. They're just rough, you know, like an alligator's back. You know, they just kind of rub away
like an alligator's back.
I don't know. I imagine that would be rough, you know? It's not soft. It's not soft for one. But yeah.
Also, someone said, what was it? It says it's sold out. And yeah, I just checked. They're all gone. Sorry, bro. That was quick.
Too slow. These big supply drops.
Yeah, man. I can't believe that. It's sold out so fast. Well, yeah.
Damn. Next time, eh?
You got to be hot.
What we got in the questions? Here we go. I'll answer this one because I won't ever do that again. All right.
Please.
How is your tutorial are so good? I'll tell you how my tutorial are so good. I'll tell you exactly how. Because I'm really bad at flips. I'm really bad at learning flips, so I have to put a lot of thought into it when I do. And it's not really come naturally. So because of all the thought I have to put into, because I have to find out ways to explain it to my dumb brain, then that means I can explain it to your dumb brain. So that's why my tutorials are good, because lots of the time, people who are really good at flips and have been for a long time, they understand the movements, they can teach it all right, but if they found it pretty easy, then it's a lot harder for them to explain because they don't know how you're thinking. They don't understand your dumb brain, but I do because I got a dumb brain as well. So yeah. Oi, Omid.
Nah, not yet. We've still got 5-10 minutes left.
Yeah, leave that for a bit. Here we go. You can answer this one, Omid.
Yes, Mossy. Right, kind of toothpaste. I use Cole.
Of You're gonna say Colgate?
Coal paste.
Do
No.
you actually use coal paste?
Coal paste, yeah.
You use coal paste? I know.
No, but
I
that
feel like
is the
maybe you
thing.
would. You
Nah,
know?
I've seen it before.
I know
Also,
it's a
move
thing.
this question off, bro. It looks like I'm wearing a hijab or something.
No, I know you would. Oh, and then Brandon said, but what about my dumb brain? Even your dumb brain, Brandon. Even your dumb brain. I can break it down to such a point where your dumb brain will get it.
Listen,
You know?
he helps my dumb brain. And if he can help Omid's dumb brain, then I'm sure you lot will be fine. Because Omid's dumb brain is like, it's almost like a brain that fell from a great height onto a spike.
And then it's just getting picked at by like pigeons and stuff. Someone walks past and just kicks it.
That's my dumb brain. You guys haven't got that. I've got that. And then someone just like, and then just closed it back up. And Bob's your uncle. Omid was born.
Right, let me answer one of these. What is this episode on? It's on what we're talking about.
We're just talking, bro. It's a show.
It's not happened yet. It's still going.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We talked about dumb brains. We had an international guest on. We watched Stephen Turner do flips. Oh, speaking of flips, I have some more videos of flips to show you because I don't know which ones you've seen, Omid, but if you haven't seen this is nuts. Oh, I hope
you're going to be covering the whole thing.
I'm covering the whole thing.
Of course you are.
D-leg, full D-leg, double twist to split.
What
is that about?
Whoa.
What's he doing? Why is he doing that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have the answers. I'm sorry. That's absurd. Is it a big D-leg? Because you're covering the most important part.
It's like you can see it. You can see it as a D-leg, which is impressive. It finishes pretty early. You know, it'd have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, these Japanese, man, they need to not. I wonder how little they all are. Are any of them not little, of the good ones?
I don't know. I was just thinking, like, who's the tallest Japanese tricker?
None of. I feel like if they were tall, they wouldn't be good. I feel like I've seen a lanky one before who wasn't good. I wouldn't remember the name. Don't remember the names of the good ones.
Yeah, I know.
There's too many of them.
There are too many. And also, why is it that every single tricker in Japan is either in Tundra or in Volatrix?
Yeah.
Tackers just building an army. I'll see people, like I found some dude yesterday and I forgot what he did. It was just some crazy combo, insanely high level. And I've never heard of this guy before. And obviously he had Volatrix in the name. And I was just like, where's he finding all these people?
There's loads of them. Did you see the one that did tornado kick, swing triple cork?
Well, that's what it was. That's not.
Was it that? I think that was the guy. It might even not have been. I don't know. There's too many of them. I don't know which one's which. I can't keep up.
Yeah.
But
there's too many good people, man.
There are. But it's cool. It's cool that there's so many trickers that are really good. I just want to see more of them. I mean, I guess we'll see that over the next few years. Like, they'll start to stand out more because they'll start doing, like, different things.
Yeah.
They do similar sorts of things, which makes sense. Like, every community does, you know, because you're all kind of competing with each other. But, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It will get more specialized eventually.
Yeah, it was Kaz who did the tornadoes.
Kaz.
Yeah, that's what his Instagram is. It's like Kaz.
Oh, I thought you'd just become mates with him all of a sudden.
Oh, I saw this earlier.
Who's that?
I don't know. Are people just doing that now? That's just what the freerunners are doing. How mad is that?
That's loud.
Yeah.
Real loud.
Well, speaking of freerunning or parkour, anyway, Stora are killing it. I watch every Stora video. They're my favorite YouTubers.
Yeah, me too.
It's true. Like, their videos are so good. And I think, obviously, it'll be hard to make it as entertaining with tricking because parkour like really works with the environment. So you can go to loads of different places. There's way more people that do it. It's all, you can get like, I mean, you could get loads of different shots in tricking, but tricking, to be good at anything, then you have to do the same sorts of things, because that's the only way you're going to get so much practice in that you're good at those things. Whereas in parkour, you can kind of work a jump in one place, and that means you're going to be good at a jump in another place. And that's like a whole new thing. So I feel like parkour is a lot easier to like make appealing to a YouTube market. But if there were a team of trickers who were like on top of their shit, producing like high production value videos with a bit of character to them, I think it would still do well. Like not as well, but it would be cool to see if there was a kind of, I wish there was a tricking team that like did that.
Yeah.
Like a big, like a whole team, like there's 5+ of them, and they train together, and they all get like dope shots with each other, and then, you know.
I mean, it will happen eventually.
It will. It will. It's
I
cool
look
to
forward
see
to
in
that as
parkour,
well.
though. Yeah, Nelson said it's just not as easily understood. And like, yeah, that's true. Anyone can understand the big jump. Whereas the difference between 3 twists and 2 twists, like, no one cares. You know, it's just a flip, really.
Yeah.
Right.
I really like what Nico's doing, though. You know Nico Flow? Have you seen his shit?
Nico Flow. Yeah, he's sick.
He's like the best parkour free running tricking hybrid that I've ever seen. And his shit looks cool as fuck.
It does look cool as fuck, but at the same time, I don't know, I'm just way more into like watching just parkour than the guys who flip off everything. Like Nico Flow's amazing at that. He seems like the best kind of tricking free runner who can do it between stuff. And it's cool to watch, but I do prefer just watching like parkour with less flips, like what Stora do. I don't know why, I think it's because I see so many tricks already. I'm always seeing tricking anyway. So if I'm watching a free runner, I kind of want to see like free running rather than tricks on stuff and off stuff. But that's just what I want to see. I'm not.
No, I feel you with that. I do have that, and I think someone like, I don't know. I think it just needs to have something a little bit different. Like if they are just going to be doing flips on or off stuff, then I want it to be like Ed Scott or like Verky. Have you seen those guys?
Well, yeah, I've seen both of them. They do
crazy shit.
But that was a great example, because like Stora went to train with them in one of their recent videos. They were with Ed Scott.
No, I've seen it.
He was amazing, but I much preferred the stuff that Stora was doing than the constant flips. I don't know. It's like I guess I'm just desensitized to flips, but I don't see as many like cool jumps, so I'm more impressed by them now.
No, I feel you. I don't know. I go through different waves with the things that I'll enjoy watching. But Nelson also mentioned Joe Scandrett doing the nastiest shit. I don't know how he managed. He's one of the best at just turning the world into something that you would never imagine. Like Joe Scandrett.
Oh yeah. See, his free running looks really sick because he does really hard things without having to do like loads of flips.
Yeah. And he's just he makes normal everyday scenarios actually look like a playground, which is like to me what the essence of like free running and parkour is. And he just does it so well. Like his descents and shit and the underbar shit that he does, he's fucked.
Yeah, he is. I don't know, a lot of them are fucked, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, it is. Joe Scandrett does do the scary shit.
Yeah, I don't know how he's managing it. He's just got balls of steel, hasn't he?
Yeah. What are people saying? Imagine Shosei doing free running. It's like, yeah, but I don't know. I'd rather just see him do it on the ground. That's the thing. When I see like tricking stuff in free running, I guess it's more impressive to the free runners because they're not so used to tricking. But whenever I see someone do a triple cork off something, I'm like, it's pretty easy to do a triple cork off something. You know, it's kind of chill to me.
I don't know. I like the hybrid shit though.
Like I like what I like about free running, like flips in free running. I like it when they do simple flips but in really hard ways. So they're just doing like a back flip, but like when they're doing it off their butt, going forwards off a wall, like shit like that. like making basic flips really hard, or doing it like on a rail and sticking on the rail, or like using the environment with basic flips. I much prefer that to just seeing hard flips in free running. I feel like it's cool to see, but like someone doing a full in off something, there's just not, it's kind of overkill after a certain point, because to me, the coolest thing about free running is someone like when they're flowing around and doing like, they just look like they're kind of not attached to the environment. You know, people that just push off their hands into flips so easily. Like I prefer that rather than someone just doing a big pass from a height, because then it's kind of like you're doing diving just without the pool. You're just doing flips from a height and landing, and like that. I'm not.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
I used to be, though, when I first started, that used to be like the thing I was most impressed by. But now when I look at it, I get what the older free runners at the time meant when they were saying like, yeah, it's not all about just doing really big flips and twists.
Yeah, I like a combination of both, to be honest. It's good. Oh.
Yeah. I like the combination, but I'd rather, I don't know, I just like the combination like Star Wars stuff, where you're doing a whole parkour line and maybe there's like a front at the end and you flow out of it. Like, I think if in a run you've got like 3+ flips and it's kind of overkill. It's like, it's like you're just doing tricking over walls.
Yeah. I think it's cool though. I like that. Or not necessarily just doing tricking, because like I do really enjoy watching the parkour segments of like free running videos as a whole. But I just think people like Pasha as an example. Like obviously Pasha he does his own thing, but like even when he just does tricking looking moves, but like I don't know, off a wall or whatever. I just think I think it depends on the way that you do it. If you're doing it super flowy and again making it look like it's not concrete, because some free runners make it look like concrete.
Yeah, it just looks hard and painful.
Yeah, whereas
impressive,
people like Pasha, it's kind of like he could just be on a weird jelly castle thing.
Yeah, that's what I really like with free running, when it just looks like the whole ground's kind of soft to them. They can just dive onto their back from a height onto concrete, and yeah, it's pretty mad.
Yeah.
What are people saying? This is an interesting one. Well, kind of probably covered it before. Is grass a good place for doing new tricks, since there's no tricking gym right now? Obviously grass isn't going to be as good of a place as the gym to do new tricks, of course, for obvious reasons. But if you do only have access to grass, then I don't think you should use that as an excuse to not learn new things. You've just got to put in a bit more time into like preparation for those tricks. You need to make sure you're like truly ready to be trying it. You need to be creative in terms of like thinking of ways to train safely. Like when I was younger, I was always flipping into like mud and sawdust and wood chippings. You got and sand. You've got to find soft landings, and yeah, just it will happen. It's just putting the time in on the grass, isn't it? What do you think, Omid?
Yeah, you've just got to kind of you can't rush anything. But I don't think obviously it depends on what you're gonna do, because like. I think if you're thinking about doing double back for the first time on grass, then there's no time when that's a good idea, in my opinion. But if it's just like trying to do a slightly different cork variation, or I don't know, like going for double cork, even if you haven't done it before, it can be kind of fine. You just need to make sure you put in the work with the prereqs and stuff, and you need to go into the trick with full confidence that you're gonna do it. So, and the only way to do that is by training confidently prior and then building it up. So again, it's not ideal, but I think it can be useful, and also it just means that you build your confidence as well.
Well, Jeff says the thing is there's literally nothing but grass here, and even good grass is rare. I think he means there's no grass, and if there's no grass, then again you've got to be creative with it. Like, do people play football in the country you live in?
No, probably. I think what he's saying is there's no gyms, so he only has to learn all these tricks.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, a lot of people do that. it's just going to take more time. I do everything you can to get a trampoline, as that's going to be such a great tool. Like, since the lockdown a few months ago, I've just been training on the trampoline and grass. And that works pretty great, actually. You build a lot of strength on the grass, and you have to be really in control because you can't just be chucking yourself like you could in a gym. Yeah. And on the trampoline, you get to just chuck yourself even more than you do in the gym. So you get to experiment, and you get to refine really hard tricks on the trampoline, and then just do prerequisites on the grass, so that when they're both good enough, you can just hit stuff on the grass like first try.
Yeah. That's also, there's something a lot more satisfying about doing that as well. Like, yeah, it's more satisfying doing a trick for the first time on grass.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like it was me doing my first like aerial. Well, I was trying to beak it, but it ended up being an aerial helicoptero on grass. I was pretty pumped about that. Just means a lot more being able to do something that's like kind of sketch and hard, but being able to do it on grass.
It's just cool as well. I don't know what it is. Just tricks on grass just look so much cooler. Yeah.
Someone said I did dub back and full in for the first time, both on grass. And it's like, yes, people can do it. I mean, maybe if there was no trampoline parks and you couldn't find a friend with a trampoline, you didn't have a back garden where you could get a trampoline, then fair enough. If those things were available, then that's really, really dumb. Yeah. So it's not something to be proud of. It's kind of stupid because you're just risking your whole future and being in pain every day for the rest of your life for no reason at all. But that's only if you couldn't get access to a trampoline. So fair enough.
Yeah. Someone said, I landed my first backflip in 2 years the other day. Landed second try. Sick. I can't even imagine. I wonder, like, if I'm old and I haven't tricked in like 10 years, I wonder how excited I'll get if I ever do end up just doing a backflip again after that. Because I always just think about being like, there never being like a break in the tricks that I'll be doing. It'll just kind of come to an end. But there's so many different possibilities where like I could just stop training for a few years and then just come back to it because of an injury or whatever and just be like, oh, never again. But then I come back to it and it's like the resurgence of Omid as a 45-year-old man.
Well, that could be the future of Peen. He could come back when he's 40. Yeah, and that guy said that he does have a tramp and the gyms are closed. So I'm guessing he has done it on the tramp and he was lying. That's what I'm guessing. I don't think you have a trampoline and you've never done a double back on it and then you did it on the floor. Like, why would anyone do that? So I think you were trying to act like the big man and you actually do have a trampoline and you practiced it on that.
Where are these comments? I can't even find these comments.
I'm just taking a piss, by the way, because I got up at 5 a.m. and I'm tired. All right, I'm tired, so I'm gonna be ranting. This is why I'm always I feel like I'm so grumpy in these, just because I'm always up at 5 a.m.
Whoa, what's going on?
But yeah, it's all good. Someone said, what happened to Peen? He's done his hip in. He's gubbed his hip. He's got a labral tear, an cyst in his hip. So he's pretty injured. He's been seeing like lots of different people about it, trying to fix it up. But yeah, it's a bad one. So that's the thing. That's why I say to be careful because, yeah, it can mess you up. That's been like over 2 years now. He's been injured and he can't trick. Like the injuries are real. They can mess you up and you might never be able to trick. So that's why I'm always trying to hammer that point home about like not being stupid. Like that guy. No, I won't lay into that guy anymore. But yeah, Alexander said, why are you up at 5 a.m.? Well, since Scar left and went back to America, then I'm just getting up at 5 a.m. every day and I'm just training and working all day until I go to bed. Because what else am I going to do? I mean, like, what else is there for me to do? Everything's closed. I might as well just train and work all day, every day. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, I got to go to bed in a minute. It's 8:30.
Someone commented on me drinking water for the first time, just pointing out my drinking problem. Hey, look, I enjoy a beer while we're doing these lives. It loosens me up, gets me ready.
Oh, he said, don't lay into me. I landed them first try. Fair enough. You must have been prepared. So props. I'm just giving it as a general message to everyone so they don't do stupid things. I'm trying to look out for people.
Also,
5 seconds left.
Okay, Kojo's a grumpy old man. Thank you for watching. Much love. Bye.